The voting for the All-Star reserves this year was scandalous, and James Harden seems to agree apparently. But snubs happen every year, so that's not really the problem. The real issue is that this season you could clearly pinpoint which player should have been in the All-Star and which should not have. So buckle up. What up everybody, my name is Stefan and this is Heat Check. Let's get into it. And we gotta start off with the most controversial case of the only guy that's averaging 27 points and 10 assists per game. Let me put it like this. Trae Young is clearly posting better numbers than both Demar Derozan and Tyrese Halliburton while also being above them in the standings. So to have them two in the roster and Young out, to me it's unfathomable, but there's an underlying reason for this. Players and coaches really don't like Trae, which is in contrast to the love that he receives from the fans. Check this out. In the voting for the All-Star starters, Young was top 5 in votes from the fans and number 6 from the media, which makes the player voting really strange and by far the most disproportional out of anyone on the list. We already know stories about Trae beefing with his coach, which made McMillan wanting to resign. We've also heard that players don't enjoy playing with Young, and Kevin Huerter kind of confirmed that.
Is it a double-edged sword? Is it easy? Like, did you like playing with Trae?
Yeah, in a lot of ways, it is a double-edged sword. A lot of what Atlanta does is centric on Trae making plays and setting guys up and getting guys open. There's not much you can fall back on when everything is centric and a lot of your offense is dictated over the success of one guy. And so there was times, obviously there was frustration, but were those times where I wish that we ran some different things, obviously, but we also had a lot of success when he was dictating the show.
If he gave this answer live on a podcast and didn't even try to sugarcoat things, we can imagine the answer that he would give in a private conversation. So it's obvious that Young rubs players and coaches the wrong way. And since the coaches had a huge role in picking out the All-Star reserves, it becomes obvious why despite the better individual and team success, Trae is left out while Derozan and Halliburton are in. You could also put Drew Holiday here, despite having a better record than Trae. There is a huge difference in numbers in favor of Young, and you can clearly see that. Before moving on to the West, I as a Knicks fan wanted to make a case to flip Jalen Brunson for Julius Randle. Watching the Knicks often, it's clear to me that the way Brunson is orchestrating the entire offense, the fluidity, the pace with which they're playing, is far more valuable to the team than the difference in dry numbers that Randle has over him. In the Western Conference, there's also an obvious swap that needs to happen as De'Aaron Fox has comparable to slightly better numbers than Paul George, but with better team record and way more games played. It's an even bigger difference with Jaren Jackson Jr., both offensively and especially in games played. Jackson has only played in 35 games so far this season. Comparing him to Fox, a 12-game difference is a lot. You could also make a case for Aaron Gordon or Jamal Murray as the second guy from the best team in the conference, while Edwards has great numbers and has played by far the most games out of the bunch. But none of them has a strong case like De'Aaron Fox, and I have to emphasize, he absolutely should have been there. If I have to take a player out, it's Paul George for me. Enough with the negativity though. Going on a positive note, I'm very happy that guys like Sabonis and especially Lauri Markkanen are being recognized for their efforts, and we'll see them in the All-Star game as they absolutely deserve. Let me know in the comments who's your snub this year. Get yourself this Giannis t-shirt or other cool designs from my merch line. Link in the description. Talk to you in the next one. Peace out.